It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to year 3, episode 3 of the Travel and Cruise Industry News podcast on this January the 3rd, 2024. Coming to you from Bedford County, Virginia. A little cold. It's, wasn't very nice this morning. I stuck my head out for a brief second. Yeah, it was cold. And it's going to get colder. I think tonight it's going to be down to like 22 or something. That's cold enough. All right, we have quite a few headlines this morning, a little bit more in the way of news today. The lead story this morning is Norwegian cancels popular shore excursions. Weather forces Seabourn quest cancellation. Also today, Royal Caribbean hiring a weatherman. Cruise safety tips go viral. Santorini takes stand against cruise ships. Zuiderdam sails on a grand voyage. Margaritaville at sea launches 3 free. And 2 ships now have 5G capabilities. That and a lot more live here at 11 o'clock this morning. Quickly, I'll say good morning to Steve, Hot Air Tom, and Cindy. Today is National Chocolate Covered Cherry Day. Yeah, not my favorite. I mean, I don't have anything against it. I'm just not a real big candy person, ever. If you're listening via the podcast, welcome aboard. You can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net. Normally on the podcast, it represents not only my writings and quite a few other folks in the disabled community's writings. Also, the podcast it can be found every day. Usually 15 to 20 minutes after the end of the show, it's posted. And also now some Chillie cruises with Chillie stuff. So that's all going to be funneled through the blog. So accessadventure.net. If you are listening via the podcast and ever want to hop over to the video feed, you can just go to the description of the podcast any day. And there'll be a link to the in the description so you can jump over to the video feed. So, and if you're ever searching for the travel and cruise industry news, go to any of the places where you get your podcasts from. All the big guys, they all have it registered. All you have to do is search for travel and cruise industry news, and voila, up pops the fat guy. One announcement, actually 2 announcements today. One announcement, tomorrow afternoon, well after the show tomorrow, I'm going to be interviewing Bill Zucker, who's Vice President of Holland America. He will be on my guest on Friday morning on the show Friday. Looking forward to that. I don't often get a chance to interview folks of that stature in the cruise industry. So I'm pretty excited about this one. Also, don't forget about the first cruise with Chillie, a cruise that's been announced on the MSC Magnifica. Sails February 5th from Miami. 4 days and 3 nights. There's an optional 3 nights that you can add on if you want to make it a 7-night cruise. But it's very reasonably priced with taxes and everything. I think you're starting at about $300. So yeah, come join us. Mary Ellen Haddock is going to join us. That'll be good to sail again with Mary Ellen. So, and hopefully we'll have a nice little group that will take off on the 5th. All of you know that I'm going to be on the Epic. I get off on the 4th in Port Canaveral, jump in my car, drive to Miami, get on the Magnifica the next morning, and sail on MSC's Magnifica. So I'm pretty excited about it. New ship for me, a very European style ship. So that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And a personal thanks out to Cindy this morning. She sent me some stuff, and I went back, Cindy, and checked my emails. You've got it, and I haven't so far, because you're sailing. Are you sailing sooner than I am? Well, maybe the Epic doesn't have American Diner. Anyway, American Diner now complimentary on Norwegian. It's always been a specialty restaurant. You paid extra for it. So that's pretty cool. Cindy sent me that this morning. Shakes, appetizers, and of course on down with handhelds, like burgers and pulled pork and specialty stuff like spaghetti and, and the like, some desserts. So American Diners now. A diner is a complimentary on Norwegian. So you just have to be on a ship that has the American Diner. Not all of them have it. I don't know if Epic does. I'll have to go check that. I know Escape did. I was up on deck 14. So, all right, finally got some pictures through from Emily from down in Antarctica. This is just off the bow of the ship, of course. But check out this beautiful blue sky. I mean, the pictures are just stunning. And that, of course, is a sunset. I'm assuming, since that would be the west, that would be a sunset over Argentina, possibly. A little iceberg. You don't want to run into that sucker. What is it? An iceberg, what you see makes up something ridiculous. 15% of the iceberg. The rest of it's all underwater. So that's a pretty good sized berg, I'd say. Anyway, it's a little cold for me down there right now. So she did say that she's looking forward to. They've got a charter in Brazil. She's on her way to, I want to say Buenos Aires, and then they're doing a charter up into Brazil. So she'll be back into hot weather for that. So she was excited, and then she goes home in February, and then she comes back on another Oceania ship, and I was going to look that up and failed to do so. So sorry about that. All right, so the top story today, folks. This one kind of bothers me a little bit, and maybe it's just that it's not going to be a long-term deal. By the way, this is T-minus 39, folks. We're closing in on the 5:30. Smash that thumbs up button. I think this is my invitation to subscribe if you hadn't. 5,000 is we're a couple days away now. Passengers on upcoming Norwegian Cruise Line sailing to Puerto Rico will no longer be able to enjoy Yunque Rainforest Hike excursions. Cruise Line's been contacting booked guests and their associated travel agent to notify them the excursion is no longer available. From Norwegian, we are reaching out to advise that your shore excursion, Yunque Rainforest Hike, has been canceled due to operational needs, the email explained. Guests who have booked this excursion are being given full refunds back to the original form of payment. This refund is automatic, and impacted travelers do not need to take any actions to ensure their fees are returned. Several tours to Yunque are also listed in the Norwegian Cruise Line website, but at the moment, those tours only include scenic drives rather than hiking opportunities. Driving tours do often include stops at scenic vistas, waterfalls, or observation towers where available, though the stops may vary. The exact operational needs have not been detailed, but there could be several reasons for the cancellations. Roadwork or other construction in the park could make the property less accessible at the moment, or staffing considerations may be impacting how many visitors can be accommodated. It should be noted that the park's Baño de Oro Trail, one of the major hiking trails, has been closed for construction since July. While a small portion of the trail is open, the remainder of the trail was closed for construction work. Also, the Mount Britain Trail is also impacted by construction, as various road segments toward the observation tower are being repaved and new culverts are being installed. This work began in August and is expected to continue through March. Parking is also a problem and very limited at El Yunque National Forest. Visitor capacity is being carefully controlled while construction is underway. And that's sad. That's a really nice, I mean, obviously I can't hike anymore, folks, but that was actually reasonably accessible. Not the most accessible because it is out in the rainforest. But they did have some areas on those trails that, I could actually get to. Maybe not as much as somebody that's ambulatory. But so I hope that comes back because those are really nice hikes, and that's a very, very impressive area of Puerto Rico. All right, I'll be back with some more news after a quick break from one of our network sponsors. And the next story today, folks. Cruisers on board Seabourn Quest had a disappointing start to 2024 when rough seas forced the cruise line to cancel its planned stop at Port Antonio in Jamaica on New Year's Day. Port Antonio is a city on Jamaica's northeast coast and the capital of Portland Parish, located in the Caribbean. I've been to Jamaica, 12, 15 times? I've never been to Port Antonio. So that's something that I would be interested in. The ship was supposed to dock at 8 a.m. local time on the morning of January 4th, but was unable to dock due to choppy seas. Not to be deterred, however, Seabourn Quest, after being turned back at the Errol Flynn Marina, the West Harbor near Navy Island, they tried that and was unsuccessful there. The ship moved to the East Harbor near Titchfield Peninsula to try again, but with no luck. Seabourn Quest is a small luxury cruise ship that entered service in 2011, holds 458 passengers, 335 crew members. Okay, how much did I lose? 100 times is called. Obviously, I'm out of. Had the audio off. Hello.
Need to start over with when you put the map up for that storm. That's when it went.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Tom. All right, so we go back to this. I don't know how in the world did I lose that on for that storm. Okay, I'll back up to this story, folks. A Royal Caribbean group is hiring a new position, described as manager of marine meteorology, to support the company's chief meteorologist and provide further weather forecasting expertise to ensure each fleet has the safest, most comfortable routes for all guests to enjoy. The new position could be a very interesting opportunity for an interested meteorologist and will be a welcome part of the overall operation to provide the best possible cruise experience for guests on each cruise line in the Royal Caribbean group. Training shipboard teams and offering suggestions for weather-related fuel efficiency opportunities are also part of the listed duties. Interested applicants should have a bachelor's degree or above in meteorology or atmospheric sciences. All right, the next story today, folks. There is some truth in saying there's safety in numbers. Single travelers, especially female traveling solo, tend to be more vulnerable targets. And this is not necessarily my opinion. However, it makes some sense. Luckily, Victoria from Victoria.way at Victoria.way on TikTok has dedicated her channel to sharing travel safety tips, especially for women traveling by themselves. For added security, the TikToker goes into her room, then installs a doorstop alarm at the base of the door before using a closet hanger to connect the deadbolt to her bathroom door handle for added security, sort of like a makeshift security chain. Then she rolls up a towel to stick in the door handle to block anyone from turning it. Finally, Victoria places a heavy piece of furniture against the door and installs a small wireless security camera before moving on to check out the balcony. After a brief survey of her surrounding, she locks the balcony door and closes the curtain for privacy. I don't mean to be laughing. I don't mean to making any fun of this whatsoever. I travel a lot with women that are solo, and I don't know any of them that go to these extremes to make themselves safe. Victoria's video has 18.7 million views and 17,000 comments. While most TikTokers agree with bringing the portable lock and doorstop, some felt the safety routine was a bit overkill. Yeah, that's the way I think too. Just a slight bit overkill. Victoria also posted a second video about coping with motion sickness during a stormy night at sea. So far, this TikTok earned 833,000 views and garnered over 9,000 comments. God bless her. Anyway, I want all my ladies that travel solo to be safe. Don't get me, I'm not making fun of that at all. I don't see that big of a problem on cruise ships. And yes, I'm well aware that it happens on occasions. But, maybe one step or 2 steps extra, everybody should heed. But maybe not all 15. Anyway. All right. The next story deals with, one of my favorite ships, probably in the top 3. The Zuiderdam is starting Holland America Line's 2024 Grand World Voyage today. Sailing round trip from Port Lauderdale, Port Everglades. The 127-night global itinerary includes a total of 46 ports of call. The cruise also features transits of both Panama and Suez canals, in addition to different ports of call in Asia, the Mediterranean, and the Pacific Ocean. According to Holland American Line, the voyage also allows guests to uncover several natural wonders of the world from Panama to Sri Lanka and features extended visits across the globe. Tokyo, Naha, Kobe in Japan, Shanghai in China, Hong Kong, Mumbai in India, and Istanbul in Turkey are among the cities set to receive the Zuiderdam for overnight calls. I think that's awesome. I love the Zuiderdam. That was my first Holland American ship, and I've liked it ever since. So, a good little ship. All right. Margaritaville at Sea has launched 3 guests sail free, allowing paying passengers to add up to 3 additional guests for free, depending on the stateroom capacity. And no, folks, I don't think you're going to put 4 people in one of those little narrow inside cabins. But if you get into the bigger cabins, yeah, there's a possibility of that. The company's biggest offer yet applies to all sailings and itineraries on both the Paradise and the Islander ships in 2024. Guests also have the option to pay monthly via uplift with 0% interest for up to 9 months. The offer is valid for bookings made between January 9th and February 12th. Congratulations to Margaritaville at Sea. That's pretty awesome. Okay. Carnival Jubilee from Galveston and Adora Magic City from Shanghai both have 5G capabilities via wireless maritime services. Didn't know that one, folks. 5G on a cruise ship. I wonder what they're going to charge for that. I still, am terribly upset over the fact that all these ships that are going to Starlink, and Starlink, it was originally sold as possibly going to be free. Yeah, they're still charging the same amount for Starlink, even though it's 10 times cheaper to the cruise line. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. All right, let's go see who's over in the charge room. That actually wraps up the news portion of today's show. All right, I mentioned to Steve, Hot Air, Tom, and Cindy were here. Hot Air says Royal Caribbean hires weathermen. They fixed the weatherman a few months ago. Wonder what the story really is. They fixed their weatherman a few months ago. Wonder what the story. Well, the main weatherman man for the cruise line left. There's a new weatherman, and this is actually an assistant to the weatherman. So they're spreading out the duties. On the other hand, good story for Cindy. NCL is phasing in for a change, moving American Diner from a la carte to complimentary. I love the food there, good ribs and burgers. Good to know. Hot Air. I've never eaten at American Diner on all the Norwegian ships I've been on. That's going to have to change. On Epic, if they have it, I've got to check on that. I will after the show today. And then the next Norwegian I have is with Hot Air Tom on the Sun, and I'm pretty sure the Sun does not have American Diner. My next cruise on Jade has no American Diner, so I won't see the change until April on Escape. Yeah, Escape definitely does. Too funny, Tom. I just sent Chillie that info this AM, as all my NCL Facebook cruise groups are happy about that, and it's now showing as complimentary on my Bliss sailing. New menu, though. That's cool. Thank you again, Cindy. And yeah, I took that straight from Cindy's message to me and uploaded it right into to my system. Gretchen's here. Hi, Gretchen, out in Ohio. I just got a message from a friend on the Joy. Returned transatlantic in February. And she said she posted the news on their roll call and lots of complaints and negativity. Wow, what is there to be negative about? I don't get it, especially on the Joy. Man, I love the Joy. Cindy says, I love NCL. They're mad that some of the choices were removed. People are never happy. Are the ribs on the menu? Wellness Coach, welcome aboard, Wellness Coach. Thank you for stopping in. Cindy says, I don't recall seeing them. That's too bad. They were terrific. There's Emily up in New York. Good morning, Emily. I always love the 24-hour option on NCL. The Carnival late night choices, other than pizza, are awful. And Margaritaville at sea only had awful pizza and bologna sandwiches late night. Ooh, that's pretty disgusting. And Hot Air said no sound. I realize no sound. Start over with the tropical storm story. Okay. Everybody's thanking Tom for getting me. I would just put something heavy on the door if I could. That's just me. Yeah, I just think that's an overkill. Chillie Cruises, Hot Air Tom says, I sold Royal Caribbean, fired the old weatherman as reported by another YouTuber. Oh, I said Royal Caribbean, fired the old weatherman. Okay. I didn't know he was fired. I just knew he left. I didn't know the specifics of it. We are on the Sky, Chillie. The Sky is the cooler than the Sun. Are we on Sky? Are you serious? Do I have that right on my schedule? Trip calendar. I'm going to go look out here, Tom. Oh, yeah. You're right. It's the Sky. Yeah, they're sister ships. I'll have to look to see if the Sky has American Diner. I don't think it does. I don't think. Anyway, I like Sky. I like Sun. I like both of them. That's just a really nice size ship for me, personally. I can do without the big ships. I mean, I don't dislike them, but I sure like the smaller ships a lot better. Emily says, good to know for all. There's Kenneth. Hi, Kenneth, up in Pennsylvania. Hot Air Tom. What? Hot Air Tom has 2 kidney stones bothering him, in addition to a hurting broken kneecap Just came from the urologist appointment this AM. Ooh, kidney stones are awful. I can attest to that. And I know that one of the things they also do for those, and I hope they didn't have to do that to you, Hot Air Tom. Got a CT scan scheduled for tomorrow. Oh, that's good to know. There are ways around, using the old-fashioned catheter crap. But yeah, I did that for over a year, so I know how awful that is. Sky does not have an American diner unless they add it before September. Okay. Oh no, Tom. Hope you get all that straightened out. Yeah, me too. Cindy says I love Sky. Been on 4 times and Sun. Yeah, I like both the ships. I just like that size ship. I mean, it's got everything I want on a ship. A lot of the stuff that the bigger ships have, I can't even get to. So, as long as they got a little entertainment and they got a little casino and they got a couple bars, especially if they have a good piano bar, that's still my favorite. So yeah, I like that also. Others says I've had many stones and had the lithoscopy procedures too. All right, well, I'll be thinking about you, Hot Air. I don't like anything in that part of the world. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. Again, I'll be back same time, same channel tomorrow with more of this silliness. And don't forget, Friday, I'm going to have a special guest on the show Friday, doing an interview with Holland America Vice President Bill Zucker. So I'm really looking forward to that. That should be a good one. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a great day, everybody. See y'all tomorrow.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry, so if you'd like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chilliescruises.